Okay, we're doing this. I know the audio is probably going to be crap because I'm in my garage, it's echoey, blah, 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 blah. So today's project, I'm kind of hiding it. Today's project is something I've already test tried. So back here, behind everything, if you can't see, because you can't, back here, I'm not going to move it because it's heavy as fudge, is a cement cauldron. It is literally like this one, but cement. I tried making it once before because I've never worked with these materials. I've never tried anything like this. I've never worked with cement before. So I did a test round and then it worked and I'm excited because it worked and it's beautiful and I love it. So I'm gonna make cement cauldron planters. And I just totally spit and waited. Anyway, I'm gonna make, so you know how like people make the little pumpkin ones, the pumpkin cement planters? I made a big giant cauldron planter. See, it's got a hole. Oh. Anyway, so I did this once. I'm gonna pretty much do similar to what I did last time around. It won't be exactly the same because I fudged up really, really hard making that one. I didn't make enough cement, so I had to hurry and throw some more cement in, mix it in the container. It was a bee to get that sucker out. I didn't add enough dye to it, everything else. So we're gonna try this again. I'm hoping to make several more, but I don't know if this will work because I have cut this in half to get that one out and now have taped it, duct taped it. See, there's my cut line right there. Anyway, now I've duct taped it back together and I'm hoping it will live. I'm really, really, really hoping it will stay together and live through this. So, I would tell you everything you would need for this project, but the list is like a mile long. I have my cauldron, I have a mini cauldron, just in case if I make too much cement. You need gloves. Definitely put gloves on because cement is a chemical. It will dry out your hands like crazy hecka bad. It will give you burns and rashes, chemical burns and rashes. Don't do it. Put on gloves. Duct tape the cauldron. Shipping tape, plastic to work on. I'm gonna need a bucket it's like a 4-gallon bucket, and I use that to put inside the cauldron. And to make it get out easier, I'm going to wrap it in plastic because that made it so much easier to get it out. I was ingenious for that. I have a bucket to mix cement in. I have more cement, more water. I have this Quick Create cement color in the color charcoal. Pretty much this thing. I did add a bit of it last time, but I'm gonna add a whole lot more because I would like this to be like a charcoal color or black color or a dark gray, not just light gray. And they say this thing is like one bottle for 40 pounds, 40-pound bag of cement. No, for one bottle for 60 pounds, 60-pound bag of cement. So definitely should add more of this. And then you'll need some mold release for your mold, aka the cauldron, or I'm going to use vegetable oil. That's what I used before. It did work on getting this out with the plastic. It didn't work very well on getting it out of the cauldron, but once again, I mixed in the cauldron, which probably defeated the purpose of this. And most importantly, you will need a respirator because you are not supposed to breathe in cement powder. It is bad for your lungs. So I got a respirator. Okay, but first things first, I am going to probably speed this up or maybe even talk you through on how I wrapped up the 5-gallon bucket or 4-gallon bucket in plastic wrap or painter's plastic. This is really thick painter's plastic. You'll want to do something thicker because cement heats up because it's a chemical reaction and it will melt things such as the shipping tape because that still has shipping tape melted into it and it's stuck there for forever. This is probably really chaotic, and I'm sorry about that. So let me try and explain or show you guys, speed up the video. I don't know how I'm gonna film this. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this. Well, I'll figure this out. Future me will have to figure that out. So either I'm going to explain how I put the plastic on here, I'm going to speed it up and you'll just have to watch me and figure it out. I'm definitely going to speed up me mixing the cement because that took me forever and I don't have a mixer. I mean, I have my drill, but I can't find the mixer attachment for it. I know I have one, I just don't know where it is here in this garage. So I'm gonna speed that up and then, I don't know, we'll just do this. Let's just do this. So, it's putting plastic on the bucket. I have a square piece of plastic. I'm gonna figure out what center is and we're just gonna tape it on. As I said, I've taped all those little fold lines. Last time I taped all the way around, but I don't feel like I need to do that this time. Granted, I had more holes with my plastic last time. And no, it doesn't have to look pretty or great or anything, or at least I feel like it doesn't have to look pretty or great or anything. I know last time I tried to make it as pretty as possible. Just because it's the inside of the planter, nobody's going to really see. You're going to put a pot of flowers in it anyway, or whatever plant you want to put in. So nobody's going to really care or see what the inside looks like. At least I don't. So, anyway, that is now going to be set off to the side for a later date and time. Actually, before doing that, setting it off to the... Let's spray paint with our vegetable oil. See, I got generic brand vegetable oil. I'm going to spray the outside of this 4-gallon bucket. I'm gonna only get a 4-gallon bucket because it's really not the same size as a 5-gallon bucket. It's a little bit smaller. I'm gonna I'm gonna vegetable spray paint the inside of my giant cauldron. And just for safekeeping, I'm gonna do my little cauldron. This is where I'm gonna put extra cement if I make too much. Except for I'm just kind of now realizing I don't have a container to put inside here. I should probably figure that out real quickly. Pardon me, will I figure that out? Okay, I figured it out. I'm going to spray now very heavily and generously every nook and cranny inside this thing, and these ones outside of that one. Inside for these two. Anyway, with the vegetable oil. Oh, as I'm painting these, or spray painting with vegetable oil, it should be what you should try to clean out your bucket, your cauldron, pumpkin, whatever, as much as you can, because every little dirt or mark on the inside, the cement will hold on to. So try to clean that out and try to like smooth anything out if you can. I won't be because I have a bunch of cement stuck on the inside of this inside of this cauldron planter thing. Okay, here's the tricky part. Is you need to spray all the sides of this, but then don't set it down. Where you spray painted with vegetable oil, because otherwise that defeats the purpose. So you're gonna have to put the bucket on its top. Also, don't put the spray paint back in your house or the vegetable oil back in your house. I don't recommend that. That's kind of a little grody in my world. Okay, so before I get the cement, I am going to use this little bucket here to mix my ingredients, or mix part of my ingredient. So I'm going to prep this liquid coloring. Apparently it says on the bottle, which I did do last time, but I didn't like it, and I probably won't like it this time. It says that you're supposed to add this colorant to the water you're going to add to your cement. I only used 5 caps, so this cap I filled up 5 times to make that cauldron. 9, 10. I just realized I probably should have had my gloves on because now my fingers are dyed black. Whoopsie. Anyway, it says to add it to your water. So I'm going to now add water into this container. Okay. There I have my ice cream tote. So the 10 lids full of the colorant and water, and you're going to want to mix that pretty heavily because the ink likes to settle down at the bottom. At least that's why it happened to me last time, is the ink settled all the way down at the bottom, and I was like, well, that was pointless. That didn't add very much dye because all of it settled and I didn't use all the water, so that's why I'm using a smaller water container. Yes, I'm going to use a bamboo stick. Okay. No, I don't think that's mixed enough, but I'm going to go with it. Okay, now I'm going to get my bucket of cement here. Now I'm going to add this water that has my hair in it into this bucket of cement and mix and mix and mix and mix and mix, and then I guess I'll bring you back at that point. So, I will see you in a few. Okay, now that I have rinsed everything, washed everything, kind of washed myself, I'm still stained from where I got the cement on you. Yes, that black stuff does stain you pretty good. I kind of went there really fast at the end, so I kind of tried to explain this. Is you kind of want the cement to be thoroughly mixed in, kind of goopy, gelatinous. I know you're supposed to have it a little bit thicker where it kind of holds falling off your hands, but I have a hard time getting to that point, so I just kind of, it's a little runny for me, but enough where you put it on your hand and it does like slop off your hand, not liquidy pour. I did have a hard time mixing this time and making it a more even consistency the whole way through, but I was working with a different container because I did mix in this one last time. And I was mixing a larger batch, a slightly larger batch, because once again, like last time, I only mixed enough for 3/4 or 2/3 of this and had to hurry and quickly add it up for the last third. But once I pour through, I kind of shake the container, try to get all the air bubbles to come up. I know when you have a cement mixer or doing cement things, they have a vibrator and it vibrates and gets all the bubbles out. I don't have one of those, so just moving it side to side, agitating it a bit. If you're doing a smaller container, pound it on the ground trying to get those air bubbles out like you do in baking. This is too big and too heavy for me to lift and smack on the ground, plus I was worried about the duct tape holding out. It held up pretty good. It's doing an awesome job, considering I put my foot in that 4-gallon bucket and pushed down. Anyway, once I sloshed it around, I put the 5-gallon bucket, or in this case like a 4-gallon bucket in. I pushed down with my foot just to get it in, because it's really hard to push against the wet cement and get it to come up the sides of the cauldron. Then I hurry and put a full gallon of paint in there to help hold it down and balance it a little bit. Then I have this board, and I have a car battery. This is a car battery balancing on top of the board that's balancing on the 4-gallon bucket. Oh man, no, I touched the cement. That is in the 5-gallon bucket in the cauldron. So cauldron, cement, 4-gallon bucket, thing of paint, which probably doesn't need to even be needed, but hey, it's extra weight. Board, card battery. Yes, you're going to need quite a bit of weight just to keep the 4-gallon bucket in the cement. At least that's what I learned when making that planter over there. I thought a gallon of paint would be enough. It's pretty heavy. No. Car battery. That was my friend, which is sadly weighs probably about as much as I do. So with the planter over there, I left it in this container for 10 days. I know a lot of people, when they do these smaller pumpkin ones, they leave them in there for a day or two and then pull them out and let them sit another day or two to dry. This thing is ginormous. I mean, this one's a baby, this one's a mama. Like, this one can eat 12 of these. So I'm just going to leave it in here just like this for 10 days. And then I will take the 4-gallon bucket out and peel the cauldron off. And that one I just did yesterday. I pulled out of all this yesterday. So I'm probably going to leave it another 10 days, and then I'll probably have my husband with the angle grinder clean off the top. I kind of tried to do it this time around, clean off the top a little bit while it's still wet. I probably will come back tomorrow or later on today and clean it off and make it a little more smooth and flat. That way it's not as bad as that one over there. And I'll just have to have my husband like angle grind that off or something. But anyway, I will bring you back in 10 days when we take this all apart. So I'm here in my garage and I'm about to make another cauldron. I've got the second one that uses more black dye, but I also realized if I wipe down the container, I'm hoping it will be better looking and not so grainy on the outside, but whatever. Anyway, I was thinking about trying some black charcoal here to put in the cement mix along with the concrete dye. Yes, I went and bought more. So I'm thinking about adding some of this and this to help make the cauldron black. So how I made this is it's just, you know, burnt wood from my fire pit in my backyard, and I've used my magic bullet that's only used for craft supplies, non-edible supplies, and I ground it up till it's this thin, small powder. Yes, there is some dirt or some white ash in there, but most of it is a small white powder. That's probably a little too big, but whatever. I'm gonna try putting that in the concrete along with the dye and see how black I get this next one. So
thoughts and feelings, right? That's what the review is about, thoughts and feelings. Okay, thoughts and feelings. These turned out so cute. With this big one right here, my husband did go through and sand down the top, same with the little ones, but he didn't do it with the other two yet, just because the angle grinder wasn't doing very well, and so he did like the diamond one and it ate it. So I definitely need to come up with planters that fit in these cauldrons, because like this one's a little tall. That one fits kind of okay. But yeah. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, the charcoal. The charcoal did make it a whole lot darker. And I really, really do like that. Next time, if I do this again, which I kind of want to, kind of not, I recommend putting a lot of charcoal in, along with the concrete dye. And then I did end up having a little bit of a problem with the last one of I didn't tape it to heck and back, because my husband complained about it when I made the second one about taping it so much that I didn't tape it as much, and so the concrete kind of split in, well, the plastic split and the concrete came out. So we do have to clean that up a little bit, but whatever. I don't find it like that big of a deal. Even if we don't clean it up, I don't think anybody's gonna notice, but they're so cute. I love that I get to have Halloween in my yard all year round. Some things I do want to mention that I didn't mention before is with the first two, I use Portland cement. But I bought it like a year ago and it was super cheap. It was like $8 or $10 for that big 94-pound bag of cement. With this one, I did have half Portland, half some cheap one. It was a yellow colored bag, the cheapest concrete we could find. And I do have to admit, I do recommend doing the Portland. It is smoother. I feel like it made a smoother look, but I feel like at the same time, doing the half Portland, half the cheap cement, I don't feel like it changed the look a whole lot. I don't feel like it caused that much more problems. You could just tell when you go mix it, it's got way more rocks in it and way more problems. When I did do the last one, I made a little baby planter, as you guys can tell. And this one didn't work out as well as doing the bigger ones, but I blame more user error. I put too big of a milk jug. I actually used like a vinegar bottle in the center, and it's too small of a rim. And so when we were pulling everything out, it cracked and this top little section popped right off. So I tried resining and putting it back together, and I hate the way the resin looks. So we're just gonna keep it facing this way. So make sure when you do make it that you have something that is a lot smaller in the middle, because if you have too small of a rim, it's just too fragile and it cracks and breaks. So I do recommend that. I do like the colors of them. I do like how they're all different colors, all different shades. I do kind of wish they were all dark like that one, or darker. Part of me kind of wants to spray paint them black, or put like a clear coat spray paint or grease them or something so that they look darker. But part of me also likes that they have the concrete look, and like nobody wants to move them because they're concrete. And they are heavy. I've been used a dolly to get them to here. I plan on using the dolly to move them to other parts of my yard to do the reveal, because I haven't filmed that yet, or other parts of the yard when I finally figure out their permanent home or move them around seasonally. I do plan on using the dolly because they are quite heavy. And I think that's everything, right? That should be about everything that I don't know. I love them. I think it was an awesome idea. They're cute. They're adorable. I get to have Halloween in my yard all year round. I'm excited. Best idea I've had yet. Awful project to do. I don't recommend it. I hate working with cement. I hate sanding the cement, or my husband cutting with the cement. It was not fun. It took too long. But I don't know. They're just cute. I love my new yard decorations. So yeah, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little bell notification and all that fun jazz. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye. Totally forgot to talk about the cicadas. Okay, ready, set. You can't see my panties. You can't see my panties, can you? Okay. I just gotta remember to not move so you can't see my panties. I'm a pumpkin grew, and it got orange just in time to film this, and I'm so excited. You can do it, babe. You can do it.
The problem is this front tires are tiny.
Yeah, they are tiny compared to the back ones. Anyway, this is how we transport them around the yard. I don't know what I do. I just make this shit up as I go along.
That's what we all do. That is life.
I know.